All right, I am back. I told you that was just going to be a short intermission. I have to do that so that way the transition that you're seeing in the live stream is used to make the videos in the clips. So let's check it out. We are today going to be watching excuse me. We're going to be watching a trailer. So this first one we're starting off with is a trailer for a it looks like a documentary about a man I think we all know and love, even if some of the younger folks don't know that they know who this person is. Let's check it out. We are watching the trailer for Billy Joel, and so it goes. Official trailer, HBO Max, coming at us from HBO Max. With the Google Chrome extension, we can see, and it's got 286,000 views, 3.7 thousand likes, and 41 dislikes. Great ratio, but not very many likes or dislikes. Okay, so there is always a message in the music. Billy Joel, and so it goes, premieres July 18th. That's actually today as I am recording this, and 25th on HBO Max. So maybe it's gonna be two parts, because it's gonna be like the 18th and then another part on the 25th. I guess. I love Billy Joel. You know, it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and all the other great ones he sings. Piano Man, For the Longest Time, Uptown Girl. Yep, I love all of it. My kids would listen to, well, my son, whenever he would cry, we'd play Billy Joel and he would stop crying. Like that. It was like magic. So, yeah, it's cool. HBO is making a documentary, or somebody's making a documentary. I don't know if it's HBO is making it, but it's going to be a documentary about Billy Joel's life, and that'll be... I like him, so I think it'll be interesting for a lot of folks. So let's check it out. We got a 2-minute, 36-second trailer. I hope that you're ready. Here we go.
Sometimes it's alien to me, this guy Billy Joel. I don't know who that is or what that is.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man.
I'm reminded of it when I go walk on the street.
You got us feeling alright.
Please, guys, let me know.
That guy.
Let me know if there's any issues with audio or video quality. Sorry, this is just the first trailer. Let me know if there's any issues.
Back then, his whole life was
turn
the
this down a
band.
little bit.
We just wanted to make as much noise as possible. I didn't know one person who liked what we were doing. I loved it. I wanted to put together a group of New York musicians.
I think
They were a
that's
bunch
good.
of hooligans from Long Island.
My own history as a musician started with me hearing classical music. Uptown Girl.
That makes sense.
It could have been a
Classical
Mozart piece.
Are you the man singing Uptown Girl?
That's me. Here I am dating
Okay,
this
so if you-
supermodel. Me? I'm from Hicksville.
Feel the enormity of the situation grow.
It's funny because just a little piece of trivia here. So Billy Joel was married multiple times. It's funny because, and he mentions this.
In a
Listen,
Mozart piece.
he says right here.
Are you the
So-
man singing Uptown Girl?
That's me. Here I am dating this supermodel. Me? I'm from Hicksville.
Yeah, okay, exactly. So he's from Hicksville, and he, by the way, Billy Joel, okay, who is from Hicksville, he actually was married multiple times because he cheated on this woman. What a dummy, my God. You win the lottery or whatever it is that put these two together, and he cheats on this woman. Oh, Lord. I tell you what, some people have all the luck and they throw it away. All right, here we go.
Me? I'm from Hicksville.
You feel the enormity of the situation grow.
When I first heard Billy, it was like, wait a minute, who's this?
Billy's melodies are better than mine.
He had a great sense of drama. He had the magic.
All right.
There are certain traumas that one never gets over.
Is that Howard
underlying
Stern?
rage that wiped out my family. Still trying to put the pieces together. I didn't know my father at all from 8 years old until I was in my 20s.
All right.
I've had a lot of hard lessons in my life. I should have been worth this, and I was worth this.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit the pavement. Kaboom. I was amazed that I was still alive. I learned life is a fight.
I don't care what you say.
I would have loved to have
If
been
there
able
was
to do something
skeleton
like this.
key to unlocking what's behind the songs,
Go ahead with your own life. Leave me alone.
it's my relationships with others.
Man,
Cares about the human experience. He wrote
that
songs
Pink?
that matter.
I think music saved my life. It gave me a reason to live.
I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life.
Everything I've done and everything I've lived through has somehow found its way into my music.
yeah. So okay, yeah, Max starting at $9.99. Okay, by the way, HBO Max. It's really awesome that they're actually putting HBO Max instead of it just being Max, because that was stupid. Excuse me. I once heard Billy Joel say that he really actually didn't know why he was so famous or anything, and it was this, like why he was, like to him, he wasn't such a big to himself, he wasn't such a big deal. He was a guy that could kind of sing, he could play the piano, and it was his job, and he showed up and he did it. He wasn't like some big, great, whatever. He just showed up and he did his job, and he had success with it, and that's what he said about his own life. So, a very humble man, and that's a good perspective to have on your life. I would have loved to have been able to do something like this with my life. Kind of like I'm doing now with YouTube, but actually I would have loved to have been able to jump on a stage and play music. I play the saxophone. I can actually sing a little bit. Just because I love doing that stuff and it would be fun. It would just be fun. I don't care about being rich or famous. I want to be able to take care of my family, have a little bit of stuff, but just be having fun all the time and having success doing it would be it would be so much fun. It'd be cool, man. But I hope to be able to have that with YouTube, so make sure to support us, guys, like, share, whatever, all this stuff. But anyway, yeah, I think it would be so much fun to do stuff like this. Yeah. Anyway, cool. All right, so coming out on the 17th, the 18th, which is today, so you can go watch it today, and the 25th. Does that mean that it's 2 parts, or I think it's got to be 2 parts. I don't think they're going to have it today and then not have it anymore. Yeah. So let's see what other people have to say about this. Basically, rock and roll, really. When I was a kid, he roared on the radio. When I was a teen, he roared on my CD player. Now that I'm older, he roars on my iPhone. And when I'm dead, he will roar with my spirit. He was the greatest answer to the Beatles. Love you, Billy. Yeah. He is my Beatles. Being a first-generation American, I discovered him at the age of 13 in a household where we speak and listen to music in Spanish. I had an 8th grade project where we analyzed and then wrote out our own vision of We Didn't Start the Fire, and from the very moment when I searched for the music on YouTube, I was and have been ever since completely enchanted by his music. I'm not going to read that whole thing, but yes, We Didn't Start the Fire. Back in the time when, see, I hate this because you can't ever add stuff. Back in the time when country music was rock and roll, was basically rock and roll. There were people like Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis. It ended a war. And a couple of other people. And then we moved into like rock and roll. Well, no, we moved into like the Beatles, and then like Billy Joel. And then after that, we went into like heavier rock and roll, AC/DC, and all that stuff. So this is, these are the people who they didn't just take a genre and become part of that genre. They created that genre. Okay, nobody picked up a guitar and played it like Elvis and danced on a stage like he did until after he did. Nobody played the piano in concerts and became big. And I mean, there were people who did it, but it's like nobody did it like Jerry Lee Lewis did it. He invented a lot of that stuff. I know that there was some other music that he used to incorporate some of his stuff, but it was rock and roll. Rock and roll became rock and roll because of people like this. You know, it's still rock and roll to me, and we didn't start the fire. All those things were the creation of the musical genre, and then from there we have, you know, rock and roll like we see it today developed, and heavy rock and hard rock and all that stuff. Yeah. Michael Keaton plus Sylvester Stallone as Billy Joel. Right, I've always thought this as well. Let me see this. That's a good point. That is funny. That is funny. That's a good point there, if you can see it. Yeah. Anyway, I love Billy Joel. I think that he has some great music. You should definitely go check his music out if you haven't already. And if you have, you should definitely, and you're a fan, you should definitely go check out this documentary. But that's all I've got for this one. Let's move on to the next one. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch and join the Discord, where you can voice chat with me while I live stream, and you won't be recorded or anything on YouTube and Twitch, so that's pretty cool. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. If you like to read, you can see my after-action reports on my blog. And if you are interested, you can get some merch from my spring store. The links for everything are in the description below.